Hurricane Katrina is still blowing strong tonight, building in strength as it heads across the Gulf of Mexico. At least 6 people have already died in the storm as it crossed southern Florida, and it's expected to hit land a second time late on Monday. Mike Seidel of the Weather Channel is in Marco Island, Florida tonight, and joins me now. Mike, this has been a pretty slow-moving storm, but it's also been a very damaging one.
It has, Bob. One of the real concerns when it hit the land late yesterday, was the amount of rainfall. It was slow moving, so the rainfall amounts were prolific. Some parts of Miami-Dade County, Bob, picked up anywhere from 15 to 20 inches of rain, along with 95-mile-an-hour wind gusts. You combine that kind of rain with that kind of wind, you get a lot of trees uprooted. And at one point this morning, earlier this morning, 1.4 million homes and businesses in South Florida were without electricity.
You know, it's pretty hard to predict these kinds of storms. I know we've seen the cone of damage, the cone of danger.
Right.
In this particular context, where do you think it's going to hit next? Is there any way to say?
Well, what we're watching right now is a hurricane that is still moving west and southwest. 48 hours ago, we thought it would have already made the turn. So the farther west it goes, we have to continue to shake and move that track farther west along the Gulf Coast. Right now, it's sitting and spinning about 150 miles west of Key West with 105-mile-an-hour winds, so it's a Category 2, a very strong Category 2. When it makes that turn, then we'll have a better idea and we can kind of zone in. But right now, anywhere from just to the west of New Orleans over towards Pensacola is in that zone of uncertainty, and that's the area that everybody needs to be prepared. Likely as we get into tomorrow and certainly early Sunday, we'll be able to kind of close in and tighten the noose on that area of concern. But it's all systems go for strengthening, Bob, because we've got very warm water in the upper 80s, very light winds aloft. The wind shear is light, so there's no reason that Katrina won't become a major hurricane, a 3 or a 4. And some of these areas, like southern Mississippi and southern Alabama, have not seen a 4 since Camille, and that was way back in 1969. So this could be a very destructive storm, even after it makes landfall and it moves up into the Midwest. Heavy rain, more flooding, tornadoes, and more power outages.
All right, Mike Seidel, many thanks. Get out of the storm. Get out in front of it if you can. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
And that's our report for tonight. I'm Bob Woodruff in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.